She replaced me in a week, 7 days, and I don't think people understand what that does to your mind. Because when something you invested your heart into gets replaced that quickly, it doesn't just feel like heartbreak, it feels like humiliation. It makes you question everything. Was it real? Did I matter? Was I the only one who actually felt it? Because I was still sitting with the silence, still replaying the last conversations, still trying to understand where everything changed. And she was already giving someone else the place I used to have. That kind of speed hurts differently. It makes you feel temporary, like you were just holding space until someone else came along. Like all the effort, all the loyalty, all the late night conversations were easier to replace than you thought. And the worst part is, your mind starts attacking you. Maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe I was too available. Maybe I was too calm. Maybe I cared too much. You'll start comparing yourself to someone you don't even know. What does he have that I don't? Is he more exciting? More mysterious? More dominant? More detached? And suddenly, love feels like a competition you didn't even know you were in. But the truth is, real love was never supposed to feel like a competition. Real love is supposed to feel chosen, protected, safe. And maybe that's why it hurt so much. Because I thought what we had was protected. But if someone can replace you in 7 days, maybe they didn't replace you. Maybe they replaced the role, the attention, the comfort, the feeling of not being alone. Because real connection doesn't get duplicated overnight. You can replace company. You can replace validation. You can replace someone texting you good morning. But you cannot replace depth in a week. And that's what I had to keep reminding myself. Maybe she didn't move on because I meant nothing. Maybe she moved on because she couldn't sit with the silence. Because sitting alone after losing something real forces you to reflect. It forces you to feel. It forces you to face what happened. And not everyone is strong enough to sit with that. Some people heal, some people avoid, some people reflect, some people replace. And for a while, I let her timeline define my worth. I thought, if she moved on quickly, then maybe I didn't matter deeply. But that logic is wrong. Her speed is not a measurement of my value. Her distraction is not proof that I was forgettable. Her ability to move forward quickly does not erase the way I showed up, because I know how I loved. I didn't keep backups. I didn't entertain options. I didn't treat her like a phase. When I was in it, I was fully in it. And maybe that's why it hurt more, because I wasn't halfway there. I was all the way in. So being replaced felt like being erased. But I wasn't erased. I was just healing at a pace that matched the depth of what I felt. And depth doesn't reset in 7 days. The thing nobody talks about is that being replaced quickly attacks your confidence. Not just your heart, your identity. You start wondering if your softness was weakness, if your loyalty was boring, if your consistency made you easy to take for granted. But being calm doesn't make you weak. Being loyal doesn't make you less valuable. Being emotionally available doesn't make you desperate. It means you had the courage to love without pretending not to care. And I refuse to become cold just because someone didn't know how to value warmth. I refuse to act detached just because the world keeps rewarding people who run from their feelings. Because love was never my weakness. Loving deeply takes strength. It takes strength to stay soft after being hurt. It takes strength to care when everyone tells you not to. It takes strength to choose intimacy in a world full of games. And maybe she didn't know what to do with that. Maybe she was used to chaos. Maybe consistency felt boring to her. Maybe peace felt unfamiliar. Maybe someone who showed up clearly didn't feel exciting enough. But that doesn't mean I was lacking. It means we were different. Because I don't want love that feels like confusion. I don't want to chase someone who only wants me when I pull away. I don't want to be someone's emotional placeholder. I don't want to be loved only when someone needs attention. I want something clear, something steady, something mutual. The kind of love where nobody has to beg for reassurance, where effort doesn't feel embarrassing, where loyalty isn't treated like weakness. And maybe that kind of love is rare, but I'd rather wait for something real than settle for something that makes me question myself every night. Because the right person won't need to lose you to understand your value. They won't need space to decide if they want you. They won't disappear and call it healing. They won't make you feel like loving them was a mistake. The right person will recognize your depth while they still have access to it. And that's what I understand now. She replaced me in a week. And for a while, that felt like proof that I wasn't enough. But now I see it differently. It was proof that I love deeply. Proof that I don't detach easily. Proof that I don't treat people like placeholders. proof that I value what I build, and I'd rather be the person who heals slowly than the person who forgets quickly. Because forgetting quickly doesn't always mean you're strong. Sometimes it just means you're running. So no, her moving on fast doesn't define me. It doesn't erase my loyalty. It doesn't erase my effort. It doesn't erase the way I loved. 7 days might have been enough for her to move forward, but it was never enough to replace what I gave. And one day, someone will experience that kind of love from me and actually know what to do with it. They won't treat it like something ordinary. They won't make me feel too much. They won't make me regret being soft. They'll understand that a heart that loves deeply is not something to run from. It's something to protect. So maybe I wasn't replaced. Maybe I was redirected. Away from someone who could move on that quickly, and towards someone who never will.